Whoa, I'm a little flushed. Let's try yellow mode. Yeah, that looks a little better, I think. Everybody's got to be a little yellow, including but not limited to Endless Jess. Now let's get right into the podcast. Oh, you need to fucking get Craig and Geark in here, I guess, because I don't have managed server permissions.
Yeah, let me try to.
Please be quick on your trigger finger to mute any information that might be said that can't be on the stream. I remember last time we had an incident without going into specifics.
Yeah, you'd probably be able to do anything. You'd probably be able to do it all now.
Hey, what's happening?
I gave you mod. Invite Craig and Kiarg.
Oh, you gave me power. Okay. You gave me the power. All right, let's go.
Now recording.
Folks, it is time for another installment of Riely Radio Live. I've been feeling the desire to go on the air this week. So I'm back once again, and I've got a very special guest. It's been a rarity to go on the air with this person in recent times, but she is one of my favorite people to be on the air with. I'm glad to have her here tonight. Give it up for Demi Gloom, everybody.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Debbie Glue coming live from a mental hospital.
Okay, I didn't know if you wanted to even say that publicly outright,
I don't give a fucking
even though I
shit,
even
dude.
though
I'll
I d-
say
even though I don't recall if we mentioned it on Issue or not.
we've mentioned it. I've mentioned it publicly. Or sorry, no, I'm in Menhas, Greece.
Yeah, Menajas, Greece is where you are currently located. Of course, that is a city in Greece where it is only legal to have your cell phone from 7 to 10 p.m. Central Time.
Yep, exactly.
And we are in that window, folks, so we can have Demi Gloom here today. So how you been? How you been, Demi Gloom? What have you been up to?
Well, considering that I ended up institutionalized, you could imagine that my life hasn't been super great. I've kind of just been sleeping all day, sleeping
Aw,
all night, watching a lot of
aw,
TV. Was getting into a lot of TV shows though. I watched the entirety of Young Sheldon.
hell yeah!
Incredible programming.
Can you
Just
can
gotta
you turn me down
really
a
gotta
tad?
hand
I'm
it.
echoing a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Gotta hand it to Chuck Lorre and to the folks over at NBC. It's a great. Wait, is it NBC or is it CBS?
CBS.
CBS. Hand it over to the folks at CBS. Great programming. And I can't stand The Big Bang Theory. I've watched a few episodes of it, and like every second, and I've caught a lot of it in passing. Every second of it just pisses me off. It's so bad, unwatchable garbage. But Young Sheldon, dude, I love Young Sheldon. It's Young Sheldon is absolutely incredible. Just watch it. It's very emotional. It's very funny. It's very good. It's very good. I keep saying it's very good.
I've
Also
enjoyed
watched
I've enjoyed what I've watched. I have this thing where I like will drop TV shows forever and it will be really hard for me to pick them back up. Like I'm still on season 4 of Better Call Saul, to give you an idea. It just happens even if I like a show a whole lot. So I'm only like 15 episodes into Young Sheldon, I think, but I did like what I watched.
great. It's absolutely fantastic. I
And
love
I I've seen
everything
I feel
about
like
it.
I've seen the entirety of like the last 3 seasons via YouTube Shorts and Facebook Reels and TikToks, honestly. So
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
like I know
But
I
I
know the
promise you,
whole
there's value with it.
I know the whole Georgie and Mandy subplot top to bottom, I feel like. Just through fucking YouTube Shorts.
Fair. I also got into this one is NBC's Superstore. It's a sitcom about a Walmart-like superstore, hence the title. It's great. It's very great. It's about how much it sucks working at a place like Walmart, but it's also about the friends they made along the way at the Walmart slash superstore. And a funny thing about this is Superstore, their store is called Cloud9, and it's pretty obvious that it's a Walmart stand-in. Like they wear blue vests. The interior, everything about it looks like a Walmart. And like Target canonically exists in this universe. And there's like an episode where they go to Target and like I don't remember exactly what happens, but there's like an episode where they go to Target. There's like a character who like switches to Target and they're like, "You betrayed us. You went to Target, our competitor." But there's like one episode where they casually mention and confirm Walmart's existence within the show. And it was really funny. They're like, yeah, Target, Walmart, Cloud9. I was like, oh shit. Walmart exists canonically, so it's not exactly a stand-in for Walmart.
Yeah, it's just a fake Walmart competitor. But we got Crow Royalty in the chat. He says, how did Keemstar scam you, Riely? He didn't scam me personally per se. We'll get to the old gnome in a moment. Crow also says Riely is always on Cloud9. I feel like that's a reference to marijuana, in which case, yes, that is correct.
True.
So real.
Are you high right now, Riely?
Oh yeah.
How high are you?
No, officer, it's hi, how are you?
Gets me every time.
Classic.
Oh, you want to know something really funny that happened here?
Tell me.
There was a bee in the mental hospital day room, and we were all like really scared. And everybody was like, "Oh my god, what do we do?" And my quippy self, me, I shouted, "Is anyone here a beekeeper?" And it was really funny, and everyone laughed.
No wonder you
know,
sound
like
regarded. It says Redox. Glad you're here, Redox. Glad to have you.
no laughter, really. That wasn't funny.
I might have gotten distracted by chat.
No, that's fine. Fuck you.
So,
Die.
I'm sorry.
I hope you do have diabetes. Go to the fucking doctor and figure it out.
Maybe.
Sorry, that was too far. I love you, Riely.
It's okay. Redox, come back, you rat, says Random Candor. What up, Random Candor? But let me tell
Want
you.
Redox back?
What'd you say?
Do we want Redox back?
Yeah, Redox is like my biggest fan.
Hmm.
Riley's hair growing back, lit as hell. Thank you, Random Candor.
Oh, you got your camera
I do.
on the stream? I'll check it out.
I'm serious though. If Walmart exists and isn't Cloud9, Sam's Club, or Aldi's, I mean, it could be. I don't know if they mentioned that. Shave the beard.
Well,
Yeah, you're probably right.
Sam's Club is owned by Walmart, so that wouldn't make sense. It could be Aldi. Aldi isn't really a superstore; it's just like a grocery store.
Redox is responsible for 100% of dislikes. I feel like he's also responsible for like 70% of views, though. So, like, I gotta give him that. Get rid of the facial hair, shave the beard. Fuck you, Crow. Don't you start saying shave the beard, you fuck. Redox is allowed to be mean to me. I dislike your videos. I know you do, because you're a little fucker. Redox? Shit.
Oh, there's this trans woman that wants to debate me. Just sent me your
Oh?
Discord. Somebody commented on the Michael Knowles thing. She said, Pootaku, Pootakhu. I think that's Pootaku. Says, I'm a Christian, a shrink government right-wing libertarian who also happens to be a trans woman. Thinking for ourselves is the best thing we could do, really. Watching this debate made my day. Maybe we could have a discussion one day and sort out our points. This sounds like exactly the kind of person I want to talk to on a podcast. So I'll definitely add her.
Riley, let me call in. I can get you a link to Demiglim's Discord, I guess.
Who wants to call in?
Random Candor.
Oh, whew.
Invite. invite.
Was Random Candor on the last Demigloom Mental Hospital podcast?
I don't
The Issue Crew
recall.
episode? I think he was.
Do not recall, but it's very possible.
Walked in the woods. You know Keemstar's rap song, right?
No, what is Keemstar's rap song? I didn't know he had that.
He has a rap song called "Dollar of the Woods." Well, first of all,
Holy shit.
back in the fuck this, I'm on blog TV with my fucking hands up
Oh,
days.
I
He had
remember
like
Dollar in the Woods very vaguely now from back in the day. Now that you mentioned the
he had
name.
he had a bunch of old songs, but then he like made a modern version of it in like 2016, and he goes like, "Walked in the woods, found a dit dollar, found a dit dollar."
So
It's really
real.
good.
So fucking real. But gamers, I gotta talk about Killer Keemstar. Riely, how did you not catch that the right wing trans woman is Kathy? I don't know about that.
It's not Kathy.
that
Kathy's
was
not a libertarian. Kathy's also not right winged.
Kathy is just a strange creature with her own beliefs and habits, and she's a unique one. That Kathy.
He's a neoliberal,
There's only
supposedly.
there's only one Kathy. Nobody does it quite like she does. But folks, and IDK who I hate more, Andrew or Keem. So true. So true, Redox. I'm in Demi Discord. Can I call in? Yeah, the voice chat's public. Just hop in. You should see us there. Andrew from Issue Crew, he's literally the best one. Well, he's not in the Issue Crew anymore, so
Oh, Andrew left. Yeah, that's right. He did.
he did. You probably don't notice that he left because I no longer have a graphic designer, so he's still in the logo. Morphicus and Captain Blackbread do not have a head yet, and Andrew's still in there. Riely, who do we hate more, Riely or Riely? Oh, you did the different spellings. Are you referring to ASE Riely? I didn't even know you really knew who that was, even. Or what Riely? Maybe the Riely from Power Rangers? There's a lot of Riely. There's a lot of Rileys out there. Mo Riely and Demi are the best. Thank you, Redox. We need Andrew back. I mean, I still do a Let's Play channel with him, but he seems largely uninterested in the Issue Crew. I told you I'd make a new fucking logo, Riely. I know, Crow. I'll talk to you. I'll figure it out. I'm glad Andrew left, says Redox. I mean, fair. Heartsy was the best Issue Crew member, says Random Candor. I mean, him leaving was the reason you became
Allegedly.
one.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. You were like
Riley,
our
gotta do what a replacement as your token colored person. Okay,
and
Riley, sure.
you were on
So,
call. We wanted to let you in,
Redox,
but Heartsy was like fucking being shitty about it. And the moment Heartsy was gone, we were like, oh, so this barrier doesn't exist anymore. Let's get Random Candor in here.
the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Redox is asking you to do a Heartsy impression. Make it as a
I feel like that's a little. I feel like I shouldn't.
Well, hi guys. I'm Heartsy. I like Bladey or Blade. I'm Drain Gang. And Mumkey and Short. That's it, that's all.
So
I feel
real.
like that's a little too. That's a little too generous.
Demi, are you
Demi,
in the
can you hit us
hospital
with a
again?
Heartsy impression?
I am. I'm at a residential facility, so I'm gonna be living here for like 2 months.
Shit. All right. What's your impression?
My impression of Hardsey? Well, Hardsey has a speech impediment, and since me and Hardsey aren't like buddies anymore, I'm not gonna make fun of him. So I'm not gonna do a Hardsey impression because
I
I'm cucked.
mean, I feel like I'm still vaguely buddies with Heartsy, so I mean,
ahead.
I can't even begin to like. I'm trying to figure out how to make that sound come out of my mouth.
Palms are sweaty, knees weak, palms are heavy.
Uh, hey
Damn,
everyone, it's
you're
me.
really gonna start like that?
It's me.
Jesus.
Hey everyone, it's me, Heartsy.
That's not bad.
Heartsy Protsy. I'm really short.
I like breakfast.
I like breakfast. Crow says later, losers. I'm going to sleep. Lame. 9:30 bedtime. Big L.
Hey, discipline is a virtue.
That's fair. Redox says that's why I never open up. They'll just send you to the ward. So true, Redox. Although
Redox needs to
I
find
think
God,
Demigloom sent
find church.
herself. Didn't Demigloom send herself to the ward this time? Am I right on that?
Yeah, I did this time. Last time it was like, let's just say last time no, both times that I went to residential I chose to be here.
I don't
But
think you can be in
there was
residential against your will.
yeah, not really. There was one unless it's like a state facility, but that's different.
No, but even
This
even then, like, how long do those involuntary things last? Not 2 months.
yeah. I did get
So go
dragged
on.
to the ER in a cop car one time, but like they didn't force me to stay for a long time. They just made me talk to a psychiatrist or psychologist.
No, it's got to be a psychiatrist. You talk to a psychologist in a hospital?
In the emergency room, yeah.
They have those?
Yeah.
That's wild. All right, go on. What were you gonna say?
Why is it so wild that a hospital would have a psychologist that doesn't prescribe medicine?
Because they're not doctors, medical doctors. Usually, if you're on call, then it would be a psychiatrist that sees you and says, "Okay, they need to involuntary or not." Like psychologists don't really. They can. I guess they can give advice to the emergency
Maybe
doc.
it was a psychiatrist. I'm pretty sure it was a psychologist though.
Did they? So how do you? What are you referencing in terms of why you know their
So
profession?
I went to the emergency room
Mhm.
against my will.
Yeah,
The crisis they're like mental health cops, I guess. They're not like regular cops, but they're
yeah,
still
crisis
cops.
team. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the crisis team drive me in like a cop car to the ER. They call my parents. My parents show up, and in there I wait, and then like some lady comes in and asks me like what happened, what my goals are, like why I was hurting myself, fill in the blanks. And
All right,
she was just like,
hold on.
okay.
Let me back you up for a second. So who called and what was the concern? Suicide?
Um, I won't get into the details, but
It was self harm or suicide, right?
it was a suicide attempt, and there were
Mhm.
cops present for my attempt who, like, there were a lot of cops there, and they were like, you know, they detained me and put me in the back of a car of a crisis thing.
Okay,
Well, they put me in the back
Redox.
of a regular cop car.
Redox is giving a criticism, and I don't think it's valid at all. I think it's completely retarded. Redox says, "Call your parents?" Question mark. You're like 20. To which I say, Redox, if you're in that type of situation, they would call your like closest loved one. So if you don't have a fucking husband or wife, they're probably gonna call your mom.
It's the emergency contact, yeah. But anyways, Demigloom, go on.
Yeah, and then basically I go to the ER, and they say, look, you just got to talk to somebody. Um, but like they basically, there's a woman there who is either a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Was like, okay, what's wrong? What happened? Why are you feeling
Oh,
suicidal?
I get so she can't be a doctor because she's a woman.
So real.
Bruh.
Go on.
I guess sure. And she was really horrible. Actually, she kept misgendering me after being corrected.
Damn.
But whatever.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
You corrected.
But my
Wow.
basically her and my parents were like, just please stay an inpatient. So I did. I stayed an inpatient for like a week, and then
That was
and then they
voluntary
basically,
though.
yeah, voluntary, but like my parents were not. So I wasn't
Under
involuntarily committed,
duress. Yeah.
but like my parents were basically like, dude, please. They're like begging me, like almost crying. So like I didn't really want to, but like I did voluntarily admit myself. And the thing is like I don't know, I think they would have let me go if I said no. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
really
you're
lucky.
volunteering.
I'm lucky I live in a really progressive area. Because the cops like elsewhere, the cops could have shot me for how I was behaving, and also I could have gone to jail for
Aren't you white?
how I was behaving. What?
Aren't you white?
Yeah, I am.
That's not likely.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, I'm sure being white helped, even in my area. If I was black, they probably would have shot me pretty quickly,
So what? You were
more
resisting
quickly.
arrest or resisting uh, commitment or transport? I guess.
Yeah, I was resisting arrest or resisting detainment. I guess we can call that.
Fair enough. So then, what? How was your stay?
My stay at inpatient was like a week and it sucked ass, so I decided I was going to look into, per my friend's recommendations, I was going to look into residential, and then I went to residential for like 2 months, and
They
it was
didn't
incredible.
like the hospital didn't arrange that or talk about that option.
No, the inpatient that I went to was like it was a psych ward in a regular hospital, which is which are notoriously really bad. And it was just like really shit. My treatment team was just like, okay, get the fuck out of here after like 5 days with
Yeah,
not like a
they
really
basically
good safety
they didn't
plan.
think you need med. Did they think it was personality then?
I don't know.
Are you
They
sucking a
just it was just
thermometer? No, retard. It's a fucking vape. Sorry, go ahead.
no. They were just it was just like that inpatient program just only lets you stay there for a couple days. It's basically just to contain you for your immediate safety and like
Yeah,
build
crisis.
somewhat of a safety plan. But it was
Mhm.
like just not great. But I ended up going to residential and it was incredible. I felt happy for the first time in my life after discharging. But then I kind of like went into relapse and just like started living a shit life again and feeling bad again. And I decided to come back because this time I want to work on more relapse prevention and I just need the discipline and safety.
They give you DBT?
Yeah, DBT and CBT.
Do you have borderline personality disorder?
Cock and ball torture?
No, no, cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yeah.
Everyone makes that joke here, though.
No,
We
but
also
like,
have behavioral specialists, but they call
yeah,
them the BS, which is really
yeah,
funny.
they like it. Builds rapport.
I feel
So
like
so
that's putting you up against a stacked deck if you're supposed to like convince somebody that you're trustworthy. Yeah, I'm a BS. Let
Yeah.
me.
well, so now you're there again. You've readmitted yourself.
You're cutting out, Demi.
Yeah, hold up for a sec, Demi.
You're roboing. You pop.
She'll be back. So Riley, I like your T-shirt. I think you were wearing it in the Kathy reviews or the Insight Zoidberg reviews.
Yeah, I believe I was in the Bell reviews. Yeah, yeah.
People don't forget. Demi, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
They
Yeah.
got Demi rip. Now we got her back.
Go on. What were you saying?
I don't remember what I was saying actually.
Readmitted yourself.
Yeah, I readmitted myself to the same residential program I went to last time, so it's pretty chill.
Don't tell
Having a
me
good
it's
time. I've been
don't,
here for like 4 days.
don't tell me it's because you got homies there. You got to focus on yourself.
No, I don't have homies here. There's some people. There are cool people here, but like I'm definitely focusing on myself.
Good for you. You writing some music?
Yeah, a little bit.
Good. Good shit. So what? So do you have any diagnoses that you're willing to share?
Yeah, post traumatic stress disorder, major depressive
Complex.
disorder, and I haven't been diagnosed with ADHD. I'm gonna try to get tested for that. But like both of my parents have both of my biological parents have severe ADHD, and I have like so many symptoms, and pretty much every professional I've talked to is like, yeah, I can't diagnose you with that right now, but like you should really look into it. So
Yeah.
I'm like 90% sure I have ADHD.
Yeah, you
So
can't. Everyone thinks they have ADHD, and trauma can present like ADHD, but it's pretty heritable. So if your parents didn't have the trauma part and are legit, actual diagnosed ADHD, then that's fair.
Yeah.
real quick, I want to
Yeah.
address this point and get Demigloom's perspective on it. Because Redox in the chat says, "No lie, I've been wanting to go to a ward. Cause sad." So as somebody who has voluntarily admitted yourself to a mental hospital psych ward type situation, would you recommend Redox pursue that if he's feeling that way, or what do you think?
If you're feeling experiencing depression, anxiety, or other like mental health conditions to the point where it's like debilitating and making it like stopping you from being able to perform basic day-to-day tasks and take care of yourself, then I would absolutely recommend it. Especially if you're feeling, seriously like suicidal, or you're engaging in self-harm or anything like that, then I would absolutely recommend it. I if you're I wouldn't recommend going to inpatient unless it's so inpatient is where you stay for like 3 days to a week, or a week and a half. I wouldn't recommend doing that because it's really expensive and it doesn't accomplish a whole lot.
Yeah, Americans.
It's more so just to make you feel like, it's more so just to keep you safe, like in the moment. For long term, I would recommend going to a residential care facility, so where you stay for like over a month, or trying a PHP or a IOP, which is like a partial hospitalization program, where basically you just,
You
instead
sleep at
of,
home.
yeah, you show up every day to a mental hospital, and like you show up every day to a mental hospital and do work like school,
It
and then
sounds
go
like a
back home.
transportation nightmare, though.
Just get a
Yeah, if
car.
there's not one like close to you, that's the thing.
I think Redox, first off, doesn't need to go to a ward. I don't know if Redox has ever tried anything like medications or therapy, which I doubt. But those are the first things to try. If you're kind of unsafe or suicidal or something, then sure. But if you're not and you haven't tried anything and you're kind of just sad, then talk to your family doctor.
I still have like a mental block where I've failed to understand what therapy stands to accomplish.
Well, that's most people.
Cause like I
But
know, I know how I feel and I know why I feel
you
that way. I feel like, and
do
what are they
you?
gonna tell me?
People are very overconfident. Okay, so Redox, you've tried SSRIs for 1 month. Good. Did you go up on a dose?
Have you ever been therapized, Random Candor?
No, I do the therapizing.
Okay, that's fair. Hell yeah.
You do the therapizing.
Don't you know that Random Candor is our residential therapist? He gave me therapy on the issue crew, and now
That's
I
everything.
feel like he's giving you therapy right now.
How?
Well,
I
you're
was
not like an actual
inquiring
therapist, are you?
a little bit.
What do you mean?
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, I know you.
so Redox, you changed your therapy, changed your personality, and so that's why you stopped. Did it change it in a bad way?
I think he's referring to SSRIs and not therapy there, if I take in the
Fair enough.
context.
Okay. Redox, I think you got a little bit of the persistent depression and or personality disorder. I think Redox likes being sad. Part of his identity.
But yeah, I've been there before too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
especially with like my songwriting and like like being an quote unquote entertainer.
I almost
Like,
Songwriting is one thing.
there's like an
Go ahead, Brad.
insecurity where I feel that way. I feel like feeling that way. Fuck, what was I gonna say?
Feeling sad, productive personality.
Feeling sad and like feeling like sad, being sad is like a part of your character. Part of me like inherently feels like I'm guilty of that because I'm not more dismissive of the depressive thoughts, where it's like maybe I like being sad and I just won't admit it to myself, but I really do not think I like being sad. I think being sad kind of sucks. If I could be happy, that
Well,
would be dope as
part
fuck.
part of depression is feelings of guilt and feeling responsible for everything, and actually you feeling sad is just oh, it's actually my fault, and it's I chose these things, and that's why I'm this way. So it's depression's kind of like a lens you see the world through that will distort things into making you think you're responsible for everything and you didn't do enough, etc. So that could just be a depressive symptom itself.
What chat did you invite Craig in?
Live stream.
No, I mean, like, what chat did he put the command in?
Yeah, oh yeah, I did that in recording chat. My bad, I was muted.
I was just wondering.
Yeah, Riley, if you said anything since I made my comment, I didn't hear anything
Sorry, what was your comment?
about feeling guilty and feeling that depression is
Oh,
inevitable.
okay. Yeah. I thought you had said like something else, like you had asked a particular question, but yeah, that's an interesting analysis. I feel like you probably have some good points there. All right, boys, do we
Riley,
have...
you're muted.
No, I'm
Oh,
not.
wait, no.
No. Do we have more on that point, or do we want to move on? I don't
Well,
know.
Riley, do you want to go through the criteria for depression and see if you meet it?
I'm pretty sure I have depression. I don't think that's a mystery I have to solve.
Are you reluctant to have it be officially diagnosed?
No, I guess not. We can.
But do you want to?
I mean, I only don't want to because like this is kind of, I want to get into the Keemstar stuff a little bit.
Okay,
Um,
KEEMSTAR. What's going on with KEEMSTAR?
okay, so yes, we can circle back to the depression test if we would like. I don't mind taking it. But Keemstar has been up to some shenanigans, and they've been reversed to an extent, but it's all a work. I feel like. A 16-bit Pete says, "Bro looks like he woke up from a coma after 15 years." Rude, very rude. 16-bit Pete. Welcome to the
The style's
stream.
coming back.
Also, say Keem's famous
Fashion
line.
cycle.
Maybe I will say Keem's famous line. Don't
Dollar
tempt
dollar
me.
in the woods.
Dollar in the woods. Dollar in the woods. Okay, but anyway.
Yeah,
So
Riley, you've never heard that song, have you?
last Riely Radio Live. I heard it like a long time ago. I don't remember how it goes. I just was like chanting the lyric because I remember it vaguely from childhood. But fucking, I talked about this in the previous stream, where Tommy C was unfairly terminated from Lolcal Live podcast. And it was currently unclear what the payment situation was going to be. And since then, the situation has developed, and Keemstar made a statement on a Lolcal live stream where he was like, Tommy didn't work for the month of July. He was already paid for his last month, which was June. So I'm not going to pay him for July because he didn't work in July. And in July, what happened was, so the timeline on this is, so months and months and months out in advance, we hear that there will be a time where Tommy C goes on vacation and Keemstar fills in for him during that time. The month before this, Tommy filled in for Keem because Keem was busy. So for the month of June, Keemstar was not on the show at all and did not take a pay cut in any way. Then, then July comes around. Tommy goes on his vacation. And during this vacation, Keemstar sends out these NDAs that he wants Wings and Boogie and Keemstar, or not Wings and Boogie, Keemstar, Wings and Boogie and Tommy to sign. And Boogie signs it. Wings kind of resists, but eventually signs it. Tommy won't play ball. And he won't play ball because it's just a stupid document that can't be enforced, because I don't think you can legally have an NDA for the income you're making, which was claimed to be the point of the NDA. And the NDA was also like completely open ended and covered like a bunch of bullshit that was unnecessary for what Keemstar was saying it was for. And also Tommy just didn't want to give Keemstar his address, and that was something he had to do to fill out this NDA. So he just wouldn't sign the NDA. So Keemstar refused to go live and was holding the podcast hostage. And then Boogie and Wings and Boogie and Wings and Tommy, I had a meeting. They planned on doing the podcast on Tuesday, so it would have been yesterday had things gone according to plan. But then Keemstar was like, "Bro, these guys can't even put a stream together, bro. They're completely useless." Like live on Twitter, and like freaks Boogie and Wings out. They start freaking out because they're fucking lol cows and they want their money. So it's like, oh, we're not doing enough. We got a live stream right now. Even though in the meeting they had with Tommy, they were like, we shouldn't rush into our next stream. We should like plan it and make sure it's good. We shouldn't do anything impulsive. We shouldn't rush it. But then Keem fucking spooked him. So Boogie just decided to go live. So that happened. Tommy deletes the stream to try to like shake some sense into Boogie because they don't want to fucking wing it, and they said that. So he's trying to be like, okay, Boogie is making an impulsive decision. Let me delete the stream and get him to sit down with me. So he deletes the stream. Then he gets his permissions taken away immediately. And then some time goes by, and Keemstar officially says that Tommy C is fired from Lolcow Live. And this is all while Tommy was on his vacation, and then he got back, and he was trying to go live. He wanted to do more Lolcow, but Keem wouldn't let them go live because of the whole NDA situation. And then they fired Tommy. So Keem didn't get paid. So Keem got paid for the month of June, even though he didn't do the show at all. And now there's this July situation with Tommy that was already decided on. Tommy was also on the biggest stream in July, the first stream in July, one of the biggest live streams, one of the biggest live streams in history on YouTube. Like it was insanely,
highly doubt
it was
that.
insane. Not like maybe in the history of like podcasts. It was insane. The live stream where Boogie got exposed for faking cancer did amazing. And that stream, people don't seem to remember this because Keemstar was there, and Keemstar usually runs the live streams. But you know who was running that live stream? You know whose computer it was coming from? Tommy C.
Wings of Redemption.
Nope, Tommy C. So he worked in the month of July. His vacation was pre-planned, so he is entitled to his entire compensation. Keem was initially like, I'm not going to pay him anything. Then people were like, that's bullshit. And he's
okay,
like,
Riely, hold up. So far, it sounds like obviously you're a Tommy C fanboy, but Keem owns the shit and can pay himself however the fuck he wants, and it doesn't have to be fair.
okay, that's true. That's technically true. But in writing, that is true. So Keem is not legally liable.
No, just factually. It's true.
But yeah. In writing, it's true. But Keem has made the claim. Keem and Boogie and Wings and Tommy were all... Boogie and Wings, at least, were under this impression. Wings still believes it as a verbal agreement. I talked to Wings, by the way. I'll bring some of that up later. It was not just... I didn't have a one-on-one with Wings, but I was in a voice chat with Wings. You talked to the mirror? I asked him some questions about this situation. But... fucking... shit, where was I? 25% ownership, yeah. It was always verbally stated and sold to the audience that each member of the podcast had 25% membership. Keem was not...
Let me stop you there. If these guys are all over 30, I believe, and they don't get their shit in writing...
Because Keemstar's insane. And Tommy just went along with it for the paycheck.
They're bad business people.
Yeah, Tommy went along with it for the paycheck, knowing he would get screwed eventually. And Boogie and Wings are just stupid. And Keem is insane. So, but what I'm saying is they sold to the audience. They put their thousands of audience under the impression that they have 25% ownership of the podcast. Each of them has an equal stake. Keemstar has no more of the podcast than anybody else. They have equal stake.
A verbal agreement.
A verbal agreement that they have equal stake.
Riely, you know the Europeans told the natives that they were going to share the land.
Yeah. But yeah, and they're bad. And the point is that Keemstar is bad. I'm not that he has
Yeah.
the right to do what he's doing technically. I'm not saying he's legally
Literally,
liable.
not technically, literally.
Okay, whatever, literally.
It's just he's
Whatever
a shit
fucking
person.
phrasing you want to
Yeah, is
use.
that? But he's a shit person. Is that news? Tommy has been fucking kicked off of Baited before. Like this is actually all on them for being idiots to trust him. To be honest.
No, you're right. And that's what's so infuriating about it is that
Mhm.
he kind of tricked the general public into believing that he was done with that shit. And Tommy never did, but he just like went along with it because he knew what he was getting into. He knew it could be a
Now he's
good
facing the
project.
consequences.
And now he's facing the consequences. But the point is that it's bullshit, and Keem deserves to be called out for being a scammer scumbag. Because morally, there was a verbal agreement that they each own 25% of the podcast. So not only should Tommy be paid for the month of July, which is obviously entitled because it was an approved vacation. Keemstar took a similar vacation and got paid. There was no reason why Tommy shouldn't be paid. Tommy should also be bought out. His share should be bought out, or I feel like it's completely fucked and you've scammed your audience because you put your
Yeah.
audience under the impression that they have this
Feels
ownership.
versus facts. Feels versus facts come to head
Feels versus
again.
facts, but it's a kind of about feels because they make their money with their audience. So if you feel as outraged about this as I do, pull your fucking memberships. I did.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
should.
Yeah, completely agreement. Keem did nothing wrong. Keem is a piece of shit, and he's like, "Oh, guys, actually, I'm so." He never says. I don't know if you've ever apologized for the baited shit, but the main thing is these guys made very bad business decisions, and I'm sure Boogie and Wings are kind of just like, "Yeah, I don't really care that much." You know, Tommy's kind of chill, but at the same time, legally, I'm not trying to withdraw from this moneymaker, based on Tommy getting fucked over again. Tommy is. I actually am surprised that I guess him not signing the NDA was probably a sequelae of him being like, yeah, Keem is a fucking piece of shit and like he was a control freak and I don't want to give him that. So if he's not giving him that, he should have had some shit in writing before and really he probably expected this on some level.
He did, and he said that he did, and that's why he's not acting like a victim about it. He's really I feel like he is to an extent. Like he knew what he was getting into, so he's trying not to be too upset. He's upset that he's upset that he's not getting his last paycheck. He doesn't even care about these fake shares. He's never said he wanted to be bought out. He just wants his last paycheck. I think he deserves
He
to
is
be bought out, and he is entitled to his last paycheck.
he's not entitled. He is a victim of his own bad judgment in this stuff, but at the same time, yeah, like you could say he was naive. You can say all the stuff. He seems to present himself as if no, he knew the whole time. But uh, then you reap what you sow to some
But
degree. Like he was
you
like
also get Keemstar. Keemstar tries to put out an impression that he's not straight up a fucking like shyster, fucking not criminal, but like acts like a criminal, fucking shyster scammer. So to
please
so
no anti-Semitism. Please no anti-Semitism.
is that a like Jewish slur? I thought it was
Whoa.
just like a term for like greedy people, like low key. For real, I thought that. I think I've
Like
just heard the wrong people say it and use it in that context. If it is
no,
a
I think shyster is just used often with those people.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Demigloom says, "Gotta go. Tell Chat and Candor I said bye." So bye,
Oh,
Demigloom.
cute. Bye, Demigloom. Stay feeling. Why are we still on her Discord?
Then we could stay on her Discord. I didn't put the call in link for my stream anyway, so I'm kind of curious if any of like the Demigloom fans are gonna see this and hop in because they're all interesting characters that I don't interact with much. Who knows? Who knows what might happen? The fun new environment.
Post in their chat and invite them.
But I do think that Keem is narcissistic. I agree with you, Redox. I think
Yeah,
that
yeah. Every YouTuber is.
I think that Tommy should be paid for services rendered at the very least. That's his main point, and I agree with it. Like regardless of these shares that aren't in writing, which he understands they aren't in writing, so he knows that he isn't entitled to a share payout. He is entitled to payment for services rendered.
I think yeah, public pressure could convince Keem to
It already
buckle
did. That's the
out of
that's the
the.
that
Oh, okay,
that's
nice.
that's the update. So Keemstar came out and he's like, I've deleted all my previous statements. On September 1st, Tommy will be paid the full amount for the month of July. And it's like, okay, so we're back to where we started. But it's still the fact that Keemstar also, I don't know how much of this is true. It's kind of like a fucking game theory, but the way that things were conducted makes it seem like Tommy was being set up to fail. Like it seems like it was writing on the wall that Keem was trying to create a circumstance where he could fire Tommy and people wouldn't be upset. So like
Well,
behind
have
the
you seen
scenes,
Baited? Have you seen
behind
Baited?
I know, but behind the scenes, there was fuckery. Tommy was told that they were doing the show on X day, and then Keem convinced Boogie and Wings to do the show on Y day. When Tommy had already made plans that day because they weren't supposed to go live that day, and he was like, "I can't do it today. Maybe we could do it tomorrow, but I have plans today." And they just like went live without him and like talked shit about him because he wasn't there.
Yes.
And
Nice.
then Keemstar decided he was fired.
Yeah, he's actually a sociopath, but who else in YouTube isn't? But at the same time, you know, Tommy, you know what they say, Riley? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, fuck Tommy C.
No, that's
That's
rude.
a
I
saying.
love
I
that
didn't say
guy.
it. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. That's a saying. That's I think that it was
That's
Confucius.
in the Bible. Yeah, that's Confucius said that.
Always having to bring it to some white centric reference, Riley. So Riley, tell me, are you done with Keemstar or you have more to talk?
Yeah. I think I don't know if I'm done with Keemstar entirely because like he does so many things on the internet. I don't think I'm gonna boycott all of Keemstar. Just in case something comes up, maybe like there's a big
Just in
boxing
case
match again.
he
But
signs Riley up to assigns Riley and friends up to a deal,
listen, if he
and then
does,
says, "Hey,
I'll
bro,
take
trust me."
it. I'll sell out to
He'll say, "Trust."
Keemstar.
He'll say, "Trust me, Riley. Just 50%. We'll do it. Just oral agreement, a gentleman handshake." And then Riley will be like, "Yeah, bro, let's go."
I would do it. I would do a podcast for like ridiculously cheap. If Keemstar's paying out like percentages that come to thousands of dollars, I would do a podcast for like $1,000 a month flat.
Riley,
Like
I'll pay you a
easy.
$100 a year. I'll pay you $100 a year to contribute to Music View and do all the editing and all the work.
$100 a year might be a little too little. I
Hundred
get
dollars a month. $100 a month.
that I might consider.
Based. What's going on with Gerald? I mean Jello.
I'm not gonna get into that situation too much.
Is he persona non grata?
What does that mean? I've never been quite versed on what that term actually means.
Redux. What does persona non grata mean? As a resident Spaniard,
Riley would do it for
I
minimum
believe it
wage.
means
Yeah, obviously.
unwelcome. I believe it's an unwelcome person. But I'll defer to Redox, our resident Latino heat, a Latino lover, Lothario, Casanova, as we say. Redox, we're waiting for you. I'm just buying empty time while I'm watching the chat at this point, and
Yeah,
we're going.
I really don't want to fucking get into it, but it's just like the long and short of it. The logical answer is that me and Jason have parted ways. We are no longer associates.
No, him and Andrew are the best, I think.
I love
Him and Andrew
Andrew.
are the
Me and
best.
Andrew are still very active associates. He is a good friend of mine. Me and Jason are no longer associates.
Damn, that is strong words.
Not
Yeah, that's too bad.
persona non grata.
Yeah. What about Johann Birch?
I love that guy. Great author.
Yeah, okay, okay,
Top
okay,
tier
good, great,
man.
good. I thought you were going crazy. Yeah, I thought you lost your
I
mind for a
haven't
second.
bought Hold On a Minute yet, but I did enjoy What's Your Problem?
What was his problem?
Uh, Women, man.
Damn. I feel like that's a personal cut that I don't understand, but I'm glad it's on air.
Yeah,
Forever
yeah.
immortalized on
No,
YouTube.
that's not a personal cut. That's what the book is. Not maybe that's a silly way to describe it. But he was the kind of through line was he spent the whole book like mourning his relationship with his ex-wife. And then his ex-wife when he's finally happy and like
No
has a new
spoilers.
he's finally happy and he has a new girl that he's in. Oh, sorry. I guess I won't
No,
spoil
I'm
it for
kidding.
you.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
He's finally happy and he has a new girl that he's kind of in love with, even though it's like a weird relationship. But he's happy. He's living a good life. And then his ex-wife walks into the situation and tries to act like she still owns him, and he has to like lay his foot down and be like, "Fuck you, go away." And that's kind of like the
Yeah.
big climax of the book.
Base. So he rises out from inceldom,
Exactly.
from the one-itis curse. He cured himself.
Exactly.
Riley, how's your work?
It's all right.
How's your work going?
It's fine. You know, it's stressful. It gets busy, but it's cool.
Are you big head honcho? Yeah, I've seen some memes where they're like, "Oh, I accidentally made myself too important at work, haha," and I thought of you.
I did accidentally make myself too important at work. I think I've been mostly handling it in stride, but I do feel like I'm much more important than I should be.
Great power.
Great power comes great responsibility.
That's right. Well done, Riley. I'm impressed.
I love
So,
Spider-Man.
Riley, I have seen Deadpool 3 since your review, which
Oh
you
shit. How did you feel
shockingly
about
did
it?
not wait for me. Well, no, tell me how you felt about it first. Give me the rundown. I haven't seen the video.
No, don't hit me with the shockingly did not wait for me angle. Fucking Bell asked and you agreed. Fuck off.
Well, so guys, readers at home and viewers at home, essentially, I've been part of Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2 review, and then they just ran off with Demigloom and they were like, "Hey, you know what? We got a big name. Whoa, Ben Shapiro debate, epic. Let's get the best views ever. Let's leave behind our
No, it
comrade
wasn't
from day one.
even.
Let's leave behind Tommy C. Let's just go forward."
Listen,
I can't believe
okay.
it.
Let me
Can't believe
tell.
it.
It wasn't even because of Demigloom. It was because of Belle. Belle, who has also been in all the Demigloom review or the Demigloom reviews, the fucking Deadpool reviews. She was not going to be able to podcast for an entire calendar month, and this almost maybe it would have
Valid.
happened by happenstance. But the only reason why I planned this so thoroughly and we did a Deadpool 2 review was because Belle bothered me about
3.
it. Deadpool 3. No. We did Deadpool 2. Like, we pre-planned
Oh
doing Deadpool
yeah.
3, and we did Deadpool 2 in advance. The only reason that happened was because Belle bothered me about it. I
Fair
wasn't
enough.
even thinking about it. So,
Okay, give me the short version of your views of Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3, really fun movie. There are some logical inconsistencies,
I
but
hate that. I hate that bullshit when people are like, "It's a fun movie." It's such a cop out.
yeah, whatever. It's a cop
It was
out, but
good or bad. Is it good or bad?
that's how it's good. I like it. I
Yeah.
like it because it's
There.
fun, despite its flaws. I like it a
See,
lot.
fun is the cop out that people say is like, "Oh, I actually like this movie, but like, oh, I don't want to be torn apart by people that are pointing out inconsistencies and reasons why it's not bad. It's just fun. Don't take it so serious, bro. Just say
Yeah,
it's good
no,
or bad.
that's
Don't
not
be a
what.
bitch."
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm willing to say it's good, but I
Hmm.
understand the criticisms. They just don't ruin the experience for me.
What are the criticisms?
That it doesn't make a lot of timeline sense. A lot of the like universal travel stuff doesn't make any sense. Deadpool shouldn't have the ability to travel universes in the scene where he tries to join the Avengers in the MCU. He should not have access to multiversal travel yet, so it makes absolutely zero sense.
There's
Also,
no Avengers in his universe, I guess.
no, he was. It specifically said he was on the MCU Earth. Like it said the Earth number as it cut into the scene. Um,
Ah,
and so that happened. And also, there's the fact that everybody seems to have forgotten that Logan took place in the future. And it took place in a future where all the other X-Men had died. And
so I've heard.
even though in Deadpool, Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Colossus at the very least are alive and well, and Deadpool
So
is alive as well and
I've
well.
heard this. I've heard this. So Deadpool is a mutant, obviously, but like the criticism that I've heard, or the defense against this that I've heard, is that that what's the name, Tom from Succession, was saying this guy dies eventually, so this is a doomed timeline. So it actually could be in the future at that point. And it's
Then
just
why does it make sense
known
for Deadpool's move to then be to go get another Wolverine? If there's still a Wolverine in his timeline who just will die
because
eventually.
that Wolverine is doomed.
Nobody digs up Logan's corpse also.
Yeah, but that could be maybe he's in the future.
Oh yeah, I guess he could have time traveled, obviously.
With a TFA or whatever the hell. Because can't he just like steal their shit? Do they all have the rings for? Because how can they just apparate?
Wait, what's the question? How can they just apparate? What do you mean?
Like, how can they just enter the grave site? Do they have teleportation rings or something like that?
Oh
Or
yes,
can
the
they
the
travel
TVA,
timelines?
the TVA, the agency that fucking Mr. Man works for, has the
Because
portal devices.
they came to his door. They came to his doorstop.
Yeah.
They came to his door and
He gets one of their
justified it.
devices and they can just like freely travel through space and time.
It's plausible. Plausible. What would you rate it out of 10?
I give it an 8. I really thought it was super enjoyable. Despite these flaws that I didn't even know at first, because first of all, I didn't watch Logan, which maybe I missed out on some of the
What the
stuff because
fuck?
I didn't watch Logan.
You didn't miss out on that much, but you're missing out in general.
Yeah, I should. I started. Maybe I'll just skip to Logan just so I can see Logan in particular, just in case I don't follow through on this. But I did.
Logan is completely independent from all the other X-Men movies.
Yeah,
so
I watched
that's one thing
the
better.
first X-Men, and my intention is to watch every Fox Marvel movie. But even if I give up on that like long project, I probably will at least skip to Logan and watch that because I know that one is really good and independent. So, but I enjoyed the first X-Men. That was really good. I'm tracking these on Letterbox because I don't think I'm gonna get people to review every fucking Fox Marvel movie with me.
I can
So you're kind of hard to schedule it though, you random kid, or you got like a normie
Have you
job in
tried?
life.
Have you tried?
I guess
I'd be
not.
happy to do it.
Okay, you wanna review the first X-Men soon?
Sure, I'll watch it. I'll watch it soon.
Hell yeah.
That's so. This is your first time watching all these movies.
I don't think I've seen any of them. It's possible,
That's pretty
like
special.
it's possible as a kid I might have like saw part of like Days of Future Past, but I basically know zero.
As a kid, Days of Future Past is fucking shit. How long ago was it?
I mean, the last movie in that series was in 2017. It was Logan, and in 2017 I was fucking what, like 15? Yeah.
Fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm 22. 2015. 15 boy. Wait, no, that's not how math works. I would have been
Whoa.
I would have been 13.
Don't say 15 boy, or else you'll summon Redux.
Wait, I just can't do math right now, I don't think. I'm realizing that I'm making myself look stupider every time I try to answer this math question, this very basic math question.
That's the effect I have on people.
It's 7 years. Wait, then I feel like I was 15. 22 minus 7 is 15. Okay, I just can't do the math. It's over. Jackie is 33. Okay.
I was thinking, I was thinking whether Redux was still with us or not.
Yeah. Now you know that Redox is still with us.
Yeah. So Riley, I'm running a little bit of a distraction right now. So if you can go on for a little bit of a monologue, what would you like to monologue about? And then have me brutally destroy all your points with facts and logic after.
I'm trying to think of
anything you
I'm
want to
trying
rant
to
about?
I'm trying to think of something unique and new to rant about instead of just going back into the Keemstar well.
Okay, what about go for Keemstar and I'll be devil's advocate. I don't like the guy. Let me make that clear, and I think he's not as bad as others, and I've been on his side versus H3, for example. But like he's a piece of shit, and which is his right. That's basically my purpose. My like people are allowed to be shitty, and I'm not saying it's Tommy C's fault. I'm just saying that like you can't cry about people being who they are, especially if you
Yeah,
know them for like 10 plus years.
yeah, no, for
Ranting about
sure.
PS5 is what what's the name is saying.
I never had a PS5. I've played on a PS5 for I think like 10 minutes total in history. I like played a little bit at a friend's house once. Rant
What
about
did you
Burger
play?
and Jackie? No. It was I think
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah. Rant about Burger and give the whole backstory from your understanding of Burger and Jackie. Let's
no,
keep
I
it
don't want
super
to do that.
accessible
I
for
don't want to
our
do that.
viewer. Our viewer.
I don't fucking
You need to
care. I'm done with
appease our
it.
viewer, Riley.
I'm done with it.
I actually I don't understand your knowledge either, and I'm probably less in the know than you are, given your long term
I'm
status as
done
a
with it, and
player.
I also don't
So,
want to be made to look bad, okay? The
to
fucking
who?
touchy situation.
To who?
To the fucking audience, to the people.
That are also invested in this random Z list YouTubers that are even relevant at all anymore.
I just don't want to talk about it. It's touchy situation. It's fucking
Okay.
domestic abuse. I don't want to, my take doesn't matter. The fucking domestic abuse situation.
Riley supports Burger on Friday.
Burger
Interesting.
on Friday? Only on Friday do I support burger specifically? That seems like a
I have no
weird
idea.
policy.
Wait, tell me. Okay, so Riley, I have an assignment for you before I cut out for a second. Tell me about your history with Redox. That'll be your monologue.
I don't know. Redox just fucking appeared one day. He was the not my Brandon guy. And he was just a silly character in Mumpy's comments. And eventually, we just had similar understanding of the monkey lore, and we came to interact. And I guess Redox just decided to watch my shit. Black Friday, day of the event. Got you. You had to say Black Friday. Yes, Redox was the not my Brandon guy. Random, yes, correct. And that's my history with Redox. So please feel free to tell me if I'm forgetting anything. But I just want to say my piece on Lolcal Live, beyond Keem being a scammer, because I think I've made that point to death, is just that I pulled my membership and unsubscribed, not because of this money situation. It certainly didn't help. But I pulled my membership and unsubscribed because Tommy got fired. And that's because Tommy was the draw to the show to me. Like, that's the bottom line. When there's a group podcast, everybody is drawn in for a different like guy. Like everybody kind of has their main guy in group podcasts like this. You're like, okay, I like them all. I like how they work together. But like, this is the guy. This is the main guy. Guy. Yeah, I know, gender assuming or whatever. But to me, Tommy C was the main guy. Like, the live streams obviously had Keemstar, and I guess those did better view wise, but when it came to the quality of the show, I was into the pre recorded podcast. I thought the Sunday show was good. Tommy C ran it. Wings and Boogie are chatting. And they get guests that enjoy. So, what I liked, the shows that I liked, the live streams were just like, oh, I'm Keemstar, look at this drama. And then Boogie and Wings are like, my opinion about the drama is, and it's like, it's kind of fascinating and enjoyable. And also sometimes Keemstar bullies Boogie in an entertaining way. But overall, the real shows I liked were the Sunday shows, which Keemstar wasn't involved in. And Tommy, Boogie, and Wings would sit down and they would have like a podcast. They would have a conversation. There'd be talking amongst the three of them. And I think the appeal was really just like, Tommy C is a good broadcaster. He's capable of running an engaging podcast show. And Boogie and Wings are just these like strange internet cryptids who I want to see into the machinations of their mind. I want to know how they think. I want to hear about their silly little existences. And that is what the Sunday shows were. It was Tommy steering an entertaining podcast conversation in which you would learn more about Boogie and Wings as people, and there would just be entertaining banter. They're funny. Wings is funny. The Boogie can be funny, and Tommy is hilarious. And it was just a fun talk show. They would get guests on, and they would just interview the guests. And it's just like it's basically Tommy C interviews a guest with his two fat sidekicks. Like that's what it was to me. Those are the best episodes. They interviewed Boogie's brother. That was a fun one. They talked to Dick Masterson. That was a good one. They talked to Vito, and then the editor ruined the episode, and then Keemstar let it stay ruined on purpose because he hates Vito. So that was another fun Keemstar move. Um, they had Cyrax, that like crazy lolcow, like pedophile, weird looking guy. And Tommy fucking destroyed him. It was like one of the most legendary performances in that show's history. Everybody when they ask what their favorite like episode is, like the Cyrax episode comes up a lot. Are all of these people Dick Masterson influenced? No, I don't think they're Dick Masterson influenced, especially not Boogie and Wings and Keemstar. Tommy might be to some extent. I don't know when Tommy started his career, and I know he like really respects Dick. So I don't know. I don't know if he. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, they did have Cyrax, and it was great. Tommy fucking
How's
destroyed
my
it.
audio?
It was beautiful. It's significantly worse than it once was.
What about now?
Somewhat normal. Better.
Okay, I'm in a jacuzzi.
Oh shit.
Cyrax reminds me of Redox. They both have the same hairline, and Cyrax looks like a
Brutal.
looks maxed Redux.
The shows were essentially three pedos and Tommy C, Lamau. I don't know about that, but yeah, but kinda a little. Tommy C was the guy. That's how I really feel. He was the draw. He was the guy who steered the ship. He was the actual broadcaster, well, capable of running a engaging fucking radio program, podcast radio program. That wasn't just fucking. I'm Keemstar. This drama thing is crazy. Ba 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 ba. He has a little sound effect button that he presses, and it goes ba 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 ba, and he just presses it. He just screams things and then presses that button. That's what Keemstar does on Locale Live.
That's a pretty great Keemstar impression. Yeah.
Tommy C is trying to scam me. Ba 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 ba.
You want to hear my Tommy C impression?
Sure.
Well, guys, that's the thing. If you know what I'm saying, like guys, like honestly, like I think Keemstar, Keem, he just doesn't know what he's doing. And I know I worked with the guy. I worked with the guy before and like I knew this was gonna come, but I hoped it would be different. But I can't be surprised. But I still feel like I worked for that money and I spent time with my kids, and that's why they skipped me over, and now I'm being punished for that. Okay, go ahead, caller.
That's pretty good. But to play defense a little bit on that, I just want to say that like Tommy, the thing about Tommy is like he had accepted it, but he figures it goes to a certain extent, right? Because Keem kind of has a reputation to uphold, and if he had fully like stuck to this, there was a lot of people who would have considered Keemstar a thief for not paying Tommy. And that does not seem like something Keemstar would want on his reputation in his current state. And that's why he acquiesced at the end of the day, because he didn't want to be fucking considered a thief. But the thing is, Tommy was expecting.
Well, that's how he knows,
Tommy was
how to attack his reputation.
Tommy was expecting to get snaked and fired, but he wasn't expecting to get stiffed out of the last paycheck. Like they figured they would just fucking pay him and cut him loose eventually.
What's the definition of snake then?
Fucking going behind their back and just like wheeling and dealing and being shitty.
So excluding wow, that's not a word, but excluding the opportunity of having money taken from their pocket.
Like, excluding the opportunity?
Because to me that sounds like some snake shit, but I guess he didn't expect that.
Yeah, he didn't expect to not be paid for services rendered at the end of the day. That was the one thing that he was like, I figure that I'm gonna get fucking fired eventually. I know that Keemstar's not gonna be able to work with me forever. I know what's coming. But what he didn't expect was to be screwed out of payments for services
Unfortunately,
rendered.
unfortunately, for an adult 50-year-old man, you should understand that if it's not written down in a contract, then they can do whatever the fuck they want. So, shame on him.
Yeah, shame on him at the end of the day. Like that's why he's not fucking freaking out and like threatening to sue Keemstar. It's just like that they're public figures, so they are upholded to the court of public opinion, and that's gonna affect their careers in the long run.
I think his fans are more mad on his behalf because they feel like morality actually dictates the world, which is not true and naive. And Tommy is basically taking his back seat and he's like, oh, hopefully, not saying he's weaponizing his fans, but he's basically like, yeah, okay, well, if they attack his reputation, then I know that's what Keem cares about. But really, I'm kind of taking an L, and I'll never trust anyone again, which is a lie.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it was probably a bad idea at the end of the day to work with Keemstar. But I liked the thing that they made. And I hate that it had to end in this fucking shitty way. And I'm gonna follow Tommy wherever he goes. That's what I can thank
You-
That's what I can
do you
thank
think it
Locale
was a
Live
bad
for.
idea? Do you think it was a bad idea?
I think that at the moment it was a bad idea, but I'm glad that he did it
I
anyway
strongly
because of
disagree.
what came out.
I think Tommy got a lot of publicity, a lot of his name in people's ears that
You're
never
right. No, you're actually really right. You're super right.
it was still a completely good opportunity to have leapt on and all of that. And that's probably why the whole NDA was the issue, was that he recognized the benefits, but he's like, okay, this is a bridge too far. To be honest, he probably should have just signed it if he's already invested to this point to be like, okay, Team's a control freak and all that kind of stuff. But what he probably feared the NDA was going to do was restrict his ability to call out Keem for shit. But then he just created a situation where Keem has a reason in his mentally ill head to then confront him immediately.
Yeah,
So he's like, okay,
Tommy.
instead of basically signing this paper that might bite me in the ass later, he caused a situation that bit him in the ass then.
Yeah, Tommy posits that the NDA, the entire premise of the NDA, was also just like a scheme to get Tommy fired, because that was like obviously what was going on with Keem, where the NDA was sent out, and had they signed the NDA is not legally enforceable. One, because you cannot have an NDA about how much income you make, and two, because Tommy lives in Germany and has no assets in the United States. So United States NDA has no fucking bearing on Tommy C.
So why would he not sign it?
Because he would have to give Keemstar his address, and he doesn't want to do that.
So he couldn't give he doesn't have a corporation that he can set up at a different address or a PO box.
I don't know.
I think Tommy's just kind of stupid, which is fine. And that's what we expect from.
And all no. I got steered off my main point. I'm high. You have to work with me here. My main point is the idea is because the NDA is completely unenforceable, the only place where the NDA holds merit is the court of public opinion, where Keemstar is like, Tommy filled out this NDA, and then he said this, so now I gotta fire him, and it's like, whoa! It seems like that was the plan all along.
Okay, but then he just got triggered to do that same decision immediately. Like, Tommy's not intelligent. He's not a smart guy in the traditional way. He's good at entertaining, and he's kind of has a good. I think his biggest selling point is that he has a decent moral center. I still disagree with a lot of the bullshit that he says because he's kind of a boomer, New Jersey, wow, and he probably should have like died in the war anyways. But like, I think that I'll let that marinate. But but
Let that sink in, folks.
Tommy has always been the laugh track and baited, and essentially he's been kind of like the broadcaster, not a source of entertainment himself. But he has been lauded, I think, for having pretty decent base takes and early callouts. I don't know if it was
what was it? Who was it? John Swan that he was early on. Like he's early on a couple of these kind of like smarmy type dudes, which is good.
And I think he's
But
funny
he's also
too.
kind of like a
I think his
credible
one-liners
pod.
are on point. I think he's super entertaining. Like I think he's
Yeah,
an
the
entertainer.
one-liners. I really don't think that he's funny.
I think he's funny.
Really? What's a good joke he's made?
I can't quote something specific. Come on, don't do this
Is
to
he
me.
funny? Is he funny though, or is he just well, if he's doing that, then well, that's what that like. Usually, I think he just reads comments and like he basically is the middleman and the straight man for the actual entertaining people like Colossal. That sounds pretty bitter, but it is like a fact. He's not
But
a solo. He cannot carry anything outside of like, yeah, sure. Even his drama podcast, he needs to have people, his connection to the industry, Nicholas Diorio, etc. That is where he actually gets views and gets entertainment from, not him speaking on subjects by himself. That's never been the case.
I don't know. I really
No,
like him. I resonate with him. I can't explain it, but to me,
have you watched any solo streams he does or
yeah.
solo content?
I had watched some Shot from the Point selectively before, and
Is that solo?
now
Is he have the Crimson Chin?
oh, solo, you mean? Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Has he
not
ever created something solo?
he used to have a YouTube channel, didn't he?
Did you ever watch it?
No, but I'm listening to a
It's
show where
fun.
he's running the show and he has like callers and that's the fucking format. That's his show.
Yeah, and he doesn't have any co-hosts.
No. He is a
He
producer, but
has-
she's not an entertainer. She's just there to be like, here's the next caller. She's just like helping him
yeah.
run shit.
Wait, okay, so this isn't the Crimson Chin guy,
No.
and this is Start from the Point.
Yes, I think the Crimson Chin guy might have left or something happened or whatever. He
Yeah,
just
he was
has
okay.
he has a producer named Jeannie who's just this girl who he talks to a little bit and she's mostly just there to be like for Tommy to be like, okay, who's next? And then she's like, this guy's next, and it's like, okay, this guy.
Yeah, he's basically like a bootleg version of the shock jock, but like he's also I don't know, man. To be honest, he is a 40-year-old man who talks about like Discord drama with 16-year-olds, and that is kind of weird.
I don't know. The fucking internet is its own little world, and like, is he talking about?
Can you refute what I just said?
It can be weird, maybe, but I'm giving my defense for it in that, like, the
So you do
internet.
agree he's a 40-year-old guy talking about 16-year-olds on Discord for his income?
If those 16-year-olds on Discord are public figures, and I feel like usually they're not 16-year-olds on Discord, they're at least 18-year-olds on Discord. I don't think Tommy
How
C is talking
about
about kids too much.
which involve one or more underage person. And that's how he makes his life. He lived 30 years old. He went through the military, and he settled in on this idea of children on the internet and moral and advanced standing as his source of income. It's a little bit sad.
If it works, it fucking works. He's a fucking show guy. He's running a show. It's
It can
successful.
be sad and it can work at the same time, right?
I
Do you
don't.
find that sad?
I understand your point, but I don't think it's sad. I don't think it's sad at
Mhm.
all because the internet is its own crazy world with its own crazy lore, and I don't think it's necessarily relevant how old people are if they're public figures involved with like insane shit. That's news. If it's news, it doesn't matter how old you are if you talk about it. It's fucking news.
You like tabloids, Riley? Do you enjoy tabloids and rumors and gossip?
I don't enjoy tabloids and rumors and gossip when they're
You
raw,
do because
when they're
you
baseless.
enjoy Tommy
I don't
C.
enjoy them when they're baseless.
Well,
And I don't find them to be
is any
often
gossip
baseless
based?
when Tommy C is talking about them.
Well, you do enjoy it because Tommy C does deal exclusively in that as his income stream and his image online. You know what Shot for the Point was initially supposed to be about?
No, I'm a new fan. What was it originally supposed to be about?
I might be mistaken, so correct me if I'm wrong. Hockey.
Oh yes, he did say he used to do a hockey show.
And he followed where the views were coming from to talk about teenagers online on Discord.
He's not just talking about teenagers on Discord though. He's talking
Is that
about general fucking internet drama and news. That's public
Yeah.
information, that's news that's being spread around. Maybe sometimes there's 16-year-olds on Discord involved as you're
Sometimes or most
quoting.
Sometimes or most times, right?
I don't think it's most times. I think that's disingenuous.
Okay, well, if you want to be a fact checker, then why don't you go to his channel and sort by most popular, and we can settle this once and for all. If you want to find out,
Okay.
that's a big if.
Okay, give me a second.
Before you do that, Riley, what are you gonna do when you find out that I'm right?
I mean, I guess I'll concede the point.
Unsubscribe from Tommy C.
What'd you say?
Unsubscribe from Tommy C.
I'm not gonna do that.
For 1 week.
For one, I get a 1 week suspension from
Yeah.
Tommy C.
Will you do it or are you dishonorable?
All right, hold on. Sorry if
You have
that
to
music
agree
blew your ears
before.
out, folks.
You have to agree before.
I'm not gonna do that.
For 1 week, really. You're really in his clutches.
I don't want to randomly unsubscribe from a channel that I like for no reason.
Is it random or is it based on facts and logic? You're welcome.
Anyway, let's see. FaZe Banks, an adult man.
Okay, wait. What's the full headline, please?
FaZe Banks, empty threats. The fake gangster act is getting old.
Okay, that's valid.
Okay. Okay, this one is maybe a point in your corner, I guess. Pyrocynical's accuser Ivory tells all, full interview.
Yeah. So direct contact with a alleged underage person at the time of the incident.
At the time of the incident, I don't know if at the time of the
How
stream.
many views is that? How many views is that, Riley?
84K.
And that's one of his most.
Yep, that's number 2. And then number 3 is Colossal is Crazy response to J Station, so adult men.
Yeah.
Wreckful reportedly commits suicide, which is not a full shot from the point. It's like a full 4-minute video.
Okay.
Hockey stuff.
That's the most viewed, really?
Yeah. Anything for views, arrogant crybaby, and a two-face fraud.
Well, that's because he said that Tommy should have died in the war.
Colossal is Crazy yells at dogs next door. I've only seen one so far, and we're down like his top 10.
But to be honest, 84,000 is number 2. I don't believe.
Yeah, I guess his show doesn't get a crazy amount of views. It's a fucking live streamed fucking drama podcast. Podcasts don't get views like this unless they're fucking Joe Rogan.
Let's recognize the elephant in the room, and I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about you coping.
Because I'm fat. I see what you're saying.
And seething. Well, actually, it's just the podcast just for me, bro. It's not supposed to get viewers. He's not supposed to feed his family.
He is feeding his family, though.
Off to KEEMSTAR. You're welcome.
No, he gets a lot of donations on his own, too.
Yeah.
He said that he's financially stable without Locale Live, and I don't think it's a lie.
Thank God for his wife.
Yeah, his wife makes more than him, but like, I'm sure his wife couldn't sustain the whole household alone. He makes enough income to be a contender.
I don't know if you should make blanket statements without knowing anything about it, right?
I don't know. Maybe. I just don't know if anyone. I don't know if any one person can run a household unless Tommy C's wife is a fucking CEO. I don't know. I just don't feel like.
So you think because she's a woman, she can't be a CEO? And also, maybe.
No, I just feel like I would know about it if I feel like I would know about it if Tommy C's wife was some big shot corporate person.
You feel a lot of things, Riley, but also I think if she didn't have to support his basement arcade situation, then perhaps it would certainly be feasible on one person's income. Plus, you got a military pension, so
True.
Even then, it's just making more. Damn, he's kind of cucked.
Okay, whatever.
Nothing wrong with being cooked, Riley.
Maybe
2024.
not. I was not expecting you to have such strong opinions about Tommy C.
I don't, and they're just reactionary towards your own flimsy one.
Okay, okay, I see. You're just the ultimate devil's advocate. You're testing me.
Well, I'm just pointing out facts and logic.
Of
My
course,
apologies.
of course, of course.
So what do you say? So let's pivot because I feel mean. But what about Boogie versus what's his name? You said Wings is actually funny and Boogie isn't really.
No, I think that was me being like kind of rude. It's just that Boogie can be funny, but there are also times where Boogie is insufferable because that's who Boogie is. Like Boogie at his best is a great like broadcaster. Like I rank
Really?
the hosts in order of importance to a conducting of a good podcast. I think Tommy C is at the top, then it's Boogie, then it's Wings, and then it's Keemstar. Because Keemstar is just Tommy but worse, so he's automatically the least valuable. And
Go ahead.
and so Tommy is the one who steers the ship. Boogie is the top like responder, and he has good banter with Tommy, and is has engaging conversation. And then Wings is like your classic podcast third guy who slips in with the dynamite drops and the jokes, and that's the dynamic.
So who have you seen Baited?
I've seen the first 8 episodes of Baited. I watched them recently.
What was the last one?
The
The last one
last
with Tommy, I assume.
No, I haven't gotten through yet. I plan to probably stop at once Tommy leaves, but the last one I listened to was because I was not into Baited at its prime. Obviously, I found out about it from Lolcow, and I only just listened to
Jesus.
some of it.
Yeah, Tommy is not that entertaining in there.
Yeah, the last episode I listened to was Leafy versus iDubbbz, which was just Keem and
Oh
Clown
shit!
arguing about Leafy and iDubbbz and their in the
You have a
content
lot.
cop, whatever.
You have a lot to go through. They're all Kino. Tommy is essentially a laugh track and doesn't contribute anything, which is maybe I'm biased from that. Because Tommy doesn't really have any presence there in the biggest podcast of his life.
Yeah, I mean he's like again, but I like the kind of drop in guy. Like I think that's a good when you have a three guy
Yeah.
show, that's a good role, and I think Tommy played that role great in Baited from what I've
And
heard.
yet you like. I think you're just a simp. Because why don't you like Wings more than Tommy then?
I do like Wings. I like Wings.
More than Tommy.
No, but I'm ranking them like could the show go without them? Like it's a good addition. It adds to the comedy, but like if it's just fucking Wings and Boogie, it's hard for an episode to be conducted. I feel like because Tommy plays the
Yeah.
role where he steers the ship and he keeps it on
But
course. Wings adds comedy, but if Wings had to not be there for a day, I think Tommy and Boogie could conduct an engaging show.
What I'm saying, Riley, is could you not do Tommy's job?
Oh, you're asking if I could do Tommy's job.
Yeah. Like, is it that high of a barrier to entry to do the, let's keep ourselves on task, folks?
I feel like you have to build your own audience to some extent before you can be part of projects that big, but like I think I could do something like that if such an opportunity were to arise, yeah. Maybe that's pretentious to say, but
So he doesn't really have an X factor or anything that's important just for him.
no, I think he does have an X factor. Also, you sound like weird and garbled now. I think Tommy C is much better than me at it, if that's what you're asking.
Is he?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. I just find him more entertaining. Is that so wrong
No.
in this crazy
Because
world?
you're depressed. It's because you're depressed. But like, if you're in the same situation with these kind of very distinct personalities, could you not do something very similar?
I don't know. I don't know how much
I think I could. I think I
Tommy
could
gave
do
it Tommy gave it something special, I think. Do you think you could do the same?
very easily.
I think I could do something similar, yes, but I don't think it would be up to the same standard.
I think I could probably do it better than him. But I also think that you're right. He's earned an audience. Lolcow audience isn't coming from Tommy C though. You know that.
Yeah, that's true. For me, it wasn't really coming from anybody. It was kind of coming from Keemstar. But like I just heard, I went on Twitter once and I saw a tweet that was like, the Lolcow podcast. It's gonna have Wings of Redemption and Boogie 2988 and Dark Side Phil. And I'm like, these are characters I've always heard about, but have never looked into. And I think it would be really interesting to get into them firstly through their perspective and hear them talk on a show like this. I think this is a cool concept. And I followed the fucking Twitter immediately. And then, Darkside Phil never did it. It kind of changed hands a little bit, blah, 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 blah. And then it became what it
It is a
was.
good concept.
What'd you say?
It is a good concept.
Yeah, and then it became what it was, and I was listening, and I got into it, and I enjoyed it. And then more and more business decisions were made that I thought were completely bullshit and completely disagreeable. But I kept watching. But in reality, I was drawn in by Tommy because I didn't have a connection to any of them. Like even Keemstar, I had seen some of as a kid, but I wasn't like a Keemstar stan. I thought he was an asshole because that's what I had heard, and I wasn't really into fucking Drama Alert. But I watched the show and I was like, hey, this Tommy C guy, he's like good at radio. He's a good host. And then Wings and Boogie are these silly little fat guys who are fascinating to hear talk about just the world and what they do in general. And Tommy C sits them down. They have an entertaining conversation. Sometimes they get a guest who's funny, who can also pick on Boogie
Tommy
and
is
Wings.
also fat, but Boogie and Wings are like morbidly obese. But at the same time, so you only know Tommy through this explains a lot.
Yeah, I found out about Tommy through Local Live, correct.
Okay, so all of your opinions are valid because Tommy's been through this literally the exact same. And when you go through Baited, you'll understand.
No,
Tommy's been through
I've heard him
the
describe the
exact same
baited.
people.
I've heard him describe the baited situation in great detail. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna hear it. I'm gonna
probably
hear it
not just
myself
take
as
one
well.
person's word. Yeah, should probably not take one person's word if you're already.
Well, I mean,
biased to it.
I've heard Tommy make statements about. I've heard Clown's statements on the issue. I've heard Keem's statements on the issue. I've heard third party statements on the issue. I've heard a lot of different perspectives about baited. And as far as I can understand it, it was. I do need to learn more. I will watch baited and I will get the full context. But like,
Yeah, don't put on the shutter shades yet.
it seems like Tommy got fucked to me in the baited situation. Like it seems.
Well, essentially, Keem basically gave Tommy a charity case. All right, come on the show, and then kind of conspired against him at the start, which is an asshole move. But Keem is Keem, and then Tommy didn't really contribute that much. He was basically the third person that's a laugh track, and then he got fired. And that's basically the whole story.
I feel like laugh track is a mean way to describe that role and not necessarily fair.
It is literally how they describe it, to be honest.
Just like
Yeah.
being somebody who's able to like drop in, like that's
They call him the hyena laugh track, and he's kind of like, yeah, basically.
Yeah, whatever. He kind of acquiesces.
Watch more beta.
He kind of acquiesces to that identity, but like it's like at the end of the day, he doesn't only do that. He talks. He's a third guy.
He does in Baited.
He's a funny
Baited,
third
he
guy.
Essentially does. He's basically the straight man and all this kind of stuff, and it's anyone can do that.
But he's like a wisecracking straight man. I think he has a naturally entertaining personality.
I don't know about that. He's not that wise. He's not that funny or witty. I think Mumkey could do that job incredibly way.
I mean, you're probably right. I've been a huge stan of Mumkey for several years. I think Mumkey could do that job. If Mumkey was doing Lolcal Live, I'd resubscribe in a heartbeat. I'd feel bad for Tommy, but I would resubscribe. I wouldn't remember. I wouldn't pay, but I would watch. I would subscribe.
Okay, I don't. If Mumkey,
I would subscribe and I would subscribe and I would pay Mumkey more individually instead of paying Lolcal.
I'll say this: I think Mumkey is one of the most talented YouTubers. Like he's
Yes.
actually just like naturally charismatic, funny, can hold a conversation. If he can hold a conversation with fucking Biggs for like an hour and actually
The
make it
Monkey and Big
entertaining,
Show is
that's
awesome. It's
fucking
crazy.
but like Biggs literally says in like nothing. He's only respond he's like if you talk to like a child that is basically just giving you answers to the questions that you ask, that is how hard and sustaining that for an hour. Monkey is fucking like incredibly talented, but how he chooses to use that talent is admirable in the sense of not selling out, but also questionable in terms of profitability.
I don't like when people fucking focus on profits too much. I think that's part of the downfall of lolcow
and
quality
yet,
wise.
and yet, and yet, you're mad that your boy didn't get paid instead of being
Because
happy
they
that
already
it
made the
happened.
money. They already made the money for
Who's
services that
they?
he rendered.
Keemstar.
Lolcow.
Keemstar made the money because Keemstar owns the shit because they didn't get shit in writing. So they're like, "Ha yeah, bro, just say it and it'll be true."
So the show deserves to burn, and Keemstar deserves to lose all of his money because morally he's a thief.
40-year-olds need to know that they need shit in writing. I'm sorry.
They do, but it's also when you're a public figure, you are beholden to your reputation.
Absolutely, and that's why you feel that way. But at the same time, that's why the money is where it is.
But I've seen a lot of people canceling their memberships, and I think it's possible to scale tips, and I hope it
Good,
fucking does.
good, and then that'll be no fault of Tommy's. That'll be the audience that has a lot of goodwill and effort and energy to put towards making this happen. But Tommy, in terms of what's in his power, is actually just a victim of his own stupidity.
I guess so. I guess you're right in a roundabout manner.
Always am.
And
So what else
that's
is
the
new, Riley?
bottom line. I don't know. I think that might be about it. Kind of been what I've
Fair
been
enough.
following. I want to watch anime. I want to watch some anime. You an anime guy? Do you have any anime recommendations for me?
Yeah, I have a big recommendation.
Okay,
You probably haven't heard of it, so like, don't call me a weeb or anything.
it's gonna be Corey in the house,
I'm a
isn't it?
It's Naruto, aka Naruto,
I love
their
that
true
one.
dialect. What the hell?
I have a
That's the only anime
weird
that exists.
I have a weird relationship with Naruto in that I've seen some of the show and read some of the manga just like out of order, ancillary, probably a good bit. But
What the
the
fuck?
real way that I've experienced Naruto like from beginning to end is the video games.
Oh, Shippuden? Oh wait, no, what's the what? Ninja Storm?
Yeah.
Hmm. I fucking got filtered on the very first Ninja Storm, on the very first battle.
Oh.
I bought all three. I bought the three combination pack and ran around, and I think I was fighting Kakashi, and I just couldn't do it. I never played it again.
The original Naruto story I kind of experienced out of order. Like it was like a combination of like the anime and like YouTube clips and like some like weird like Game Boy Advanced video games. But the Storm ones, like
Okay.
I played like 2 and 3, and that was like the beginning of Shippuden up to the beginning of the Great Ninja War, like in order, and I was very
That's all the best. That's all the best
I
parts.
was very enamored by it. It was very good.
I'm not gonna lie, it kind of peaked at Zabuza. Like, there's some sick shit after, but like to be honest, like like the start, the first first I read it because I'm a freaking true nerd, and then it was a big shameful secret until anime became
I
mainstream,
think
and then
I was very enamored with Naruto. I think the Great Ninja War is kind of right where it goes wrong because I was enamored with like the Five Kage Summit stuff and Sasuke's storyline leading up to that event. I thought that was good stuff, and it was just the kind of Great Ninja War that
what
felt,
that's what Denzo,
yeah.
you know.
I liked that arc, and that directly leads into the Great Ninja War. And there's a fight that is expanded upon in Ninja Storm that I believe is like a 30-second exchange in the anime. That's Naruto versus Sasuke, like on a bridge directly after the Five Kage Summit thing, as he's about to
Oh
kill
yeah,
Sakura. And that fight, as
yeah,
it's
yeah.
depicted in Ninja Storm, was like the most like impactful emotional shit that I ever experienced in a video game. Like I was fucking
Holy shit!
enamored with the Naruto
Holy
versus
shit!
Sasuke fight on the bridge after the 5 Kage summit, because it was like
That's
the desperation of Naruto to believe that his friend is still in there, juxtaposed with like literally everyone else around him, even like Sakura and other people who used to be on his side are like, yeah, bro, Sasuke's
yeah,
fucked, and you gotta
yeah.
get used to that.
Naruto is basically Tommy C.
Wow.
I'm not gonna give up on my friend. Except Tommy C's fucking cloud chaser. He's like, yeah, this is a good business opportunity, which is
Yeah,
valid.
yeah, yeah.
What?
Sasuke's a good business opportunity.
It's true. True. You can get a curse mark or something. Get some of the sound 5, sound 4. So yeah, like basically the anime is fucking incredible. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite character?
Probably Sasuke.
Holy shit! How can people say that?
I love Sasuke. He's great.
Tell me more.
I'm very I was always very enamored at his
Is it because he's
story.
cool? Is it because he's cool and depressed like you?
No, it's because he's cool. It's not the depressed thing, but I was always very engaged in his like tale, like all the twists and turns that it took. Like it was, he was
I
really,
must kill
he
a
was
certain
really,
man.
he was really the first character that I followed like so in depth that had that story of like being good and becoming evil. Like I feel like Sasuke was my first delve into that sort of character. And I became attached to that storyline, and I was very engaged by what was gonna happen next. And like I felt for my boy. I wanted him to come back. I saw him going all the way into the darkness, and it's like, oh shit, bro, he's snapped. It's over. But then they pull him back in, and that stuff is good. But it's surrounded by all the fucking great ninja war lore that just is not fascinating.
So the thing with
Naruto
Sasuke
versus
is
Sasuke
he's
is
never.
endgame to me. Like just have that be the end game.
That's a good. That's a good comparison. Sasuke never fucking became evil. He just became singularly selfish.
Yeah, like completely like it's just complete apathy for the world around
Callous.
him.
He just becomes callous.
Yeah, completely
Not
callous.
evil.
He doesn't care about anybody else around him. He just like he has his goal. He's gonna do whatever it takes to get there.
Wait, so
And he's
you got beyond Itachi then, right?
yes. I made it to the beginning of the Great Ninja War. Like it's like
Yeah,
it's like
Itachi was
right.
the goal.
I believe Ninja Storm 3 ends with Madara getting unmasked. And then I played some of Storm 4, but not all of it. So I'm like in the middle of the Great Ninja War.
Yeah, everything past the Sasuke Itachi thing is kind of garbage.
I don't know.
That's
The 5 Kage summit is past that, and that's like one of my favorite arcs.
I don't even remember Sasuke goes up and then fights the mist person. Oh
Yeah,
wow,
Sasuke
great.
fights all the fucking Kages and kills Danzo, and that's when he
Well, okay, kills Danzo and then fights people. Get the order.
yeah,
Danzo's okay because
kills
it's like it's a good fight, but
kills Danzo, fucking fights, tricks Sakura and almost kills Sakura, fights Kakashi, fights Naruto.
yeah, why the fuck would he kill Sakura? That is the
Because
only
he knew
evil thing that he
Sakura was
does
tricking
do.
him. He knew that she was fucking bullshitting him, and she was.
But why would he kill her? Like that's kind of evil. That's the only evil thing that he does.
Yeah, that's fair. I think he is a little evil at that point. He's just like or at least he's spiteful towards the entire Hidden Leaf Village because of what he's learned about Itachi. So he doesn't
But
care.
he
He doesn't.
fucking has a kid with Sasuke. I
So
mean
he's
Sakura.
so he fucking just hates people from Konoha, and he's like, you're part of this fucking system that screwed me, and
Sasuke
fuck
has
you.
Sasuke has BPD. I'll tell it that. Sasuke has borderline personality disorder.
Probably.
But Naruto's the best. Naruto's the best character, and then Rock Lee is a close second.
The
Lee's
Naruto
good.
and Rock Lee are both very good. Big fans of both of those characters.
Gara is also huge. Gara is arguably a better character than all of them in terms of like he is what Naruto should have been. This guy's grown up like a true demon, not just Naruto excluded, and then becomes the Kazekage fucking at 15, and he's just like goated. Gara is a fucking amazing character too. Zabuza is actually not Zabuza. Haku is pretty goated too.
I do like
Both of them.
Haku.
Their relation-
I saw the Zabuza arc. I definitely saw the whole anime of. I was catching that shit on Toonami, bro. That was epic.
That was and that redeemed Sasuke too, and that made that was the arc that made them the two kind of actually bonding instead of just like, oh, I hate you and oh, I don't think about you.
Yeah, they built a bond during that kind of era, and then it kind of devolved due to Sasuke's revenge lust, and that's what leads him down the bad path with Orochimaru fucking pulling the strings.
Itachi's goated. Itachi's probably the best character of the whole anime.
Itachi, I could see the argument for that. He's definitely way up there for me. Itachi is a very influential character. He's
What
great.
makes you think Sasuke is better than Itachi?
I don't know. I guess he just like is a more main character. I don't know. Like he's a central focal point of the story, and I'm enamored by what's going on with him constantly. And
That's a
I
horrible justification. Go on though. What the fuck? He's a main character, and so I'm enamored.
So there's more, yeah. So there's more content. Like at the end of the day, Itachi does his job during during the arcs that he's involved in, and then he dies and he goes away.
Shut the fuck up right now. So
Uh-huh.
Itachi is the best ninja basically of his generation. That's A. He jumped. He was 8 years old. He's going to the Anbu and shit like that. He's becoming fucking craziest. He's my boy's wicked smart, as Ben Affleck would say.
Wicked snap.
Yeah, and then he fucking gets recruited to the Leaf shit because they're like, yo, your family's fucking around and they're trying to fucking 9/11 our shit. And then he's like, what, really? And then his fucking dad is actually fucking Osama bin Laden. And he's like, oh, fuck, what the fuck? And then he's like, oh, he has to add fucking, what, 10, 12, maybe? 12 max. No, maybe 14 max. But even then, that's generous. He's got to be like, all right, my dad, he's mad about all this generational trauma shit. These fucking institutional racism that they put us on, which is completely valid. But I actually have to make this mature decision of what's best for all of the fucking Westeros, what's best for the whole fucking city, and it's actually better if we don't revolt and kill all these thousands of people. It's actually better if me and some random ass old guy who I think is Madara just kill all my whole clan. And I have to shoulder the brunt of that and become the exile, become the fucking evil scapegoat for the shit for my city. But I have to beg my younger brother is allowed to live, and I know what trauma is gonna survive on him, and hopefully, as one silver lining, he can become the best ninja ever and kill me, with this kind of shit that I'm putting him through as motivation, even though I'm doing it actually for good reason, and I have to live this lie forever and hide my talent. And I could have been the best person who's become Hokage myself, but I gotta put that shit aside. And he has to live a lie his whole life. Tell me, Riely. Tell me how Sasuke is better than that bullshit.
You do make a damn good point, Random Candor. I
It's
think,
just facts. Just facts.
yeah, I think it's hard to win this debate. Maybe you're right. I can't refute anything you're saying reasonably.
So what is Sasuke? Lives his life. He's okay. He's pretty good, but he's in a Uchiha, and he's like, "Oh, I have to kill this one guy. I have to kill this one guy. I have to kill this one guy. I have to kill this one guy." And then he gets there. He gets slapped up by him. The other guy takes an interest in his friend and makes him jealous. And then he leaves the place to get groomed by some guy, some trans guy, Riely.
Yeah. Sasuke got ruined by a trans man. Yeah.
It's not the norm, but it does happen. And then he lives there and then kills a trans guy, and he's like, oh, I got my lessons. And then he comes out and makes his own team and doesn't care about anybody except killing this guy. And then he finds out the guy actually let him win. He couldn't even beat him because this guy's dying anyways. And he's like, oh, instead of carrying on his legacy, let me take my revenge because I'm already hellbent on revenge, and let's do that.
Yeah, because
What the fuck is that?
He realizes that he loved his brother all along, but he just has the warped perspective as to what that means, where he feels like the Leaf Village victimized Itachi. and he thinks it's completely unjustified. He thinks the Hidden Leaf Village victimized Itachi,
They did.
forced him to kill their clan, which they did. And Sasuke decides,
They didn't
okay,
force him, but
Sasuke
they
decides that's fucked. The Hidden Leaf Village is totally fucked for this, and they deserve to burn because they fucking screwed my brother.
so
They made me they gaslit me into killing my
so
brother, and
so Sasuke is a cope. Sasuke is basically just coping. He built up all this hate, this whole life which Itachi generated, which is Itachi's fault for assuming Sasuke is intelligent. And then he's just like, oh shit, the hate train is going anyways. Oh wait, he's like, oh actually, Leaf are good guys. Please don't do that. I faked it the whole time. Like you're my brother. I love you. And he's like, oh, but I still hate. So let's hate the Leaf Village for making him do this stuff. Actually, so he's a good guy now. But let me keep hating because that's the only thing I know. And then that's basically what he does.
sure,
Facts and logic. I'm sorry.
it's a way you can phrase it for sure.
Riley, what do you think? When are we gonna have our own spin-off show?
I don't know. I'm having a hard time here. You're the most expert devil's advocate I've ever dealt with in my whole existence.
Oh my god, that's so sweet. Man. Thank you.
You're too powerful, random kid. Well, we're gonna review all the X-Men movies, and you're gonna tell me why my
Yeah.
opinions are wrong when we do that.
Well, don't assume that. Don't assume that. These are just few topics which we disagree on.
That's fair. That's fair. And at the end of the day, I think a Naruto character ranking would be hard, and I'd have to think more about it. In general, like Sasuke.
Let's do it.
In general, should we do a Naruto character tier list right now?
Well, right now.
I mean, fuck it.
All right. Well, I don't know. I feel like we should devote an episode itself to that.
No, yeah,
But
you're
I'd be
right.
down.
You're right.
I'd be down.
Let's put a pin in that.
I don't know how long you usually have these live streams, but I'm probably trying to dip soonish.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we've run our course. I think we had a good episode here. This is a decently long one. We try to do at least an hour, but I always welcome more, and we're approaching 2, so I think this has been a solid stream. Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
No, just our Naruto review in the upcoming future, and our what else was there? Something else that we were going to talk about in the future too?
And
Your depression.
my depression
do a
test,
therapy, Riley therapy part 2.
and we're gonna review all the Fox Marvel movies.
Yes, all 3. all 3 of those things.
Oh, there's like fucking 17 random kid. Are you kidding me?
No, you fool! I'm saying the Naruto stuff, the Riley depression
Oh,
stuff, and the
okay.
X-Men stuff.
Okay, I got you.
3 new series on Riley's channel.
That's right. I've been saying for a long time that I need to cut back, but that's not gonna happen. To be fair,
You've never been before, Riley.
To be fair, this isn't even actually like this isn't even adding more. These are shows I already do that I'm just gonna plan to have random Candor on and do a specific thing on. Like it's not a new thing.
Riley, I do have to ask you a question.
Sure.
How the fuck did you get your hair to look so perfectly handsome and straight and look like the perfect embodiment of a 2024 cut? What do you have to say to all the haters? What do you have to say to all the redoxes that said, "Hey, your haircut's shit"? Now that you're a beautiful lion.
Well, what can I say? It grows in well. You know what I'm saying?
Woo! Get him. Keep going.
I'm looking fly.
Yeah. And what else?
I'm a handsome guy.
Yep. And
I ain't even shy.
Oh shit. Fucking hell. Fucking hell, mate.
Fucking hell. Folks, make sure you go to linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. That's RIELY Cinematic Universe. We got the issue crew, random Candors on there sometimes. We got we got Detour Ahead, random Candors on there once. It's a good show. We gotta get you on again.
Yep.
so many programs on linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. If you like Let's Plays, I'm doing Big Guy, Little Guy with Andrew.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck Andrew. All my
Tell Andrew
homies
to
hate
come back.
Andrew.
Tell Andrew to come back. I fucking love Andrew. Andrew's my favorite guy.
Well, I'll have to try to get Andrew on one of these, maybe.
Does
See.
he still pretend to be straight?
I mean, he has a girlfriend, and he decided against his potential trans arc. So
Oh shit! Okay, the lore goes deep.
yeah,
No spoilers.
no spoilers. The
All
gamers.
right, Riley. One time before we leave, tell them that you're that pretty motherfucker.
I am that pretty motherfucker.
Yeah, that's my fucking boy. That's
Let's
my boy.
go. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you very much.